a lot of people on the left in relation to this story is that you end up sounding like you're siding. Hang on one second, please. Please allow me to talk to different members of the panel. Is it that on the left you end up sounding like you're, shilling for a vile regime? The Iranian regime oppresses women. Well, hang on. Let me hang on. Is it they oppress women?
I know what you're going to say. I know. I hate the regime in Iran.
Right.
I hate the regime.
So why wouldn't you?
I don't actually hate the regime in Iran. I don't know the regime in Iran. I've never lived under the regime in Iran. I don't feel like that needs to be a catalyst or the disclaimer. I'm not a disclaimer maker before I start talking. Whatever's going on in Iran is what's going on in Iran. I mean, I don't know why my government feels the need that they need to go off and police the world. It's just really weird to me. Also, I know that after we're done with regime changes, the countries are usually left pretty jacked up. Go back and check Libya. I remember after we took out Muammar Gaddafi, Pray for Libya, so all of a sudden started showing up on my Instagram a year afterwards, Libyan slave trade, all kinds of things. So didn't happen when Gaddafi was there. Anyway, but coming back to the point, this is Anna Kasparian getting ready to dismantle this Piers Morgan panel. I can't stand these people, specifically these two right here. Anna Kasparian is going to dismantle, eviscerate, and annihilate these sickos on this panel, and they deserve to be annihilated. I'm sorry, I'm just done with it. I am so done with it. You have no idea. And he says on the left, Piers Morgan says on the left, there's people on the right who are done with it too, who sound actually like Anna Kasparian. Eviscerate this entire Piers Morgan panel. Let's go.
I hate the mullahs. There are Armenians living in Iran right now who hate the mullahs. Okay, but regime change should not be spurred by the United States and Israel, which wants to install a puppet government on their behalf. And by the way, the Iranians know that. They know that. Polling indicates the vast majority of them want regime change. They don't want it to be done by Israel. You have to be clear about that, because I think there's an intentional misframing or false framing of what's happening in Iran right now and what the population actually wants. Now, with that out of the way, my issue, Piers, is that the United States has been expending its resources and has been essentially sending its soldiers to die in wars on behalf of Israel, a country that goaded us into invading Iraq on a false pretense of weapons of mass destruction. 4,000 of our soldiers died in Iraq. You didn't send a single IDF soldier. Not one IDF soldier was sent to Iraq. Our soldiers died on your behalf, Conricus, on your country's behalf. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. You guys are committing a genocide right now, yet you're a nuclear power that's not in the non-proliferation agreement. Why? Why is that? How come you guys get to play by completely different rules? You're genocidal. You're disgusting. The world sees you guys for what you are.
No, we won't let him run. Finish. Guys, please don't forget the like and subscribe button and a notification bell. Listen, you have to. He's like going off. You have to understand that when somebody is telling you 4,000 American soldiers died in Iraq for this unnecessary infrastructure, they so-called this, favorite country of these people, right? And then the person just sits there and says, no, I don't know what you're talking about. It's not true. And they say, your blind hatred. I don't care. Like, I wish it was me, because I'd be like, y'all can stop with the blind hatred thing. I actually don't like your government. Actually, yeah, I do hate your government. Your government literally kills people just because they're not like them. Your government has forced my brothers and sisters into wars that they didn't need to be a part of. Yeah, I do hate your government, and I don't have to love your government. So because it's okay for her to say, I hate the Iranian regime, but if she said she hated the Israeli government, it would be a problem, right? I don't see why that's a problem. I don't see why that's a problem at all. I don't. You guys have no idea. I'm just so sick of the entitlement of this lunatic right here. These people make me sick. They do.
The people of Israel hate the government of Israel.
Let him
You're
answer.
a genocidal government. You guys make me sick. You make me sick.
So deep.
You make me sick.
Okay,
Let him
The
answer.
entire international community looks at your government
Let him
and
answer.
gets sick even thinking about it.
We know that he makes you sick, but let him answer.
For God's sake, we're trying to have a conversation here.
The history
and I'm trying
books
to
will
answer
write about
what you're
your
saying,
government
but you're
the
not
way
even
that Americans read about the
acknowledging me
Nazis
as
today.
a
Trust
person.
me.
Instead of
Modern
just
day
screaming
Nazis.
at me and looking
Modern
like a
day
lunatic
Nazis.
who just keeps on screaming at
Right.
other people, could you for a
I
second
speak on
allow
behalf
me
of
to
all
say
those
two
children who are now
sentences?
orphaned.
No,
all
you
those
don't
children
speak on
who were
behalf of
born
anybody
in
but
Gaza,
yourself.
in an
You weren't
open-air
elected.
prison,
You don't
and had to
represent
die in
anybody.
Gaza
You're a
because of
talk
your
show host, and
disgusting,
you don't
belligerent
represent
military.
anybody. You've
Yeah.
never stood for anything. You've
Genocidal.
never fought for anything. You're a talk show
Genocidal.
host, and you don't represent anybody.
international
And the
community
fact that
sees you
you
for
think
what
that
you
it's
are.
effective to accuse me of all kinds of nonsense, and you think that that will rattle me, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
everyone knows.
Many and better
you know
people
too.
before you have tried, and they have all
Right.
failed. But let me tell you something. Your hatred
Let me say
is
it
so
in a way
showy.
that you'll understand.
Your
The
hatred of
international community
Israel
looks
is
at people like
blinding
you, and they say
You're not able to
terrorists, okay?
distinguish
That's what they
between
see.
different
Terrorists.
situations,
You're a
and you find
terrorist.
yourself supporting a genocidal
Endless
regime
numbers
just
of
out of
children
your burning
slaughtered
hatred
at the
towards
hands of the
Israel.
IDF and the
I
Israeli
think that
government.
is so
Can I ask you a
compelling for
question?
people to see
I
how
hate
you
the government of
behave.
Israel.
Okay,
I
don't all
do.
start
I do.
talking,
I
otherwise I'm going to
despise
literally
the
give
government of
up.
Israel.
All right, let me
Despise
just look. Let me
And
go.
I feel bad for the people of
Let
Israel
me,
who are now
let me
under
go
threat
back, if
because
I
of the
may, to
belligerence of your
Kaveh.
government
Let me ask
and
Kaveh this
military.
question. Kaveh, in an ideal
Piers.
world, Kaveh, do you think it's right?
I actually don't feel bad. Sorry. Y'all, you guys know y'all not supposed to be there. I'm just keeping it real. I don't have to do all this, being politically correct. Um, I've seen a lot in the last 2 years, so I can't pretend. I don't know how. And that's just a simple fact. People like this make me sick, and there are a lot of them like him in that area. Okay? A lot of them, they pulled them and said that they weren't doing enough to the Palestinians, starving them and then slaughtering them. And that wasn't enough. I'm sorry. Why should I pretend to care about these people? They don't pretend to care about me. And I'm a Christian. That place is not supposed to exist where it's at. Those people could be safe in their home states. And as much as I don't like them, but if they came to America, I wouldn't want anybody to hurt them. Okay? But that place is not supposed to exist.
Right, as John Bolton said, that the young
Piers, this
population...
isn't fair. She's been screaming over me the entire conversation. I've said one sentence, and
Yeah.
I've been sitting here for 45 minutes.
I agree.
I would really like to say one sentence without
Keep
her
crying about
screaming
it.
like some
Okay.
crazy person,
Well, then I think-
totally.
Let's see if she'll let
totally
you.
consumed by her
You guys
hatred.
are such victims.
Right. So I would like to say
Yeah.
one thing.
The
And
young-
please,
the young woman
could you,
speaking over me.
contain
Yeah.
yourself for,
Go ahead,
for
Timothy.
20 seconds? Could you contain yourself for 20 seconds, please?
ahead.
Like you've been screaming and ranting all over this debate, and it's not meaningful. People don't hear
I
what you
can't- I
say.
have
They
a
don't hear
visceral
me.
reaction to
Nobody
people
makes
like
sense
you.
of it.
Sorry.
So
Please let
please
him talk.
do me a favor, and allow me at least to say two sentences. The Iranian regime now is struggling like any dictatorship with a new and dynamic situation. They're not used to not being in the driving seat. They're not used to not dictating in events. And for the first time in 25 years, Israel is taking the initiative. And Israel has now peeled back the layers of the ring of fire around Israel. And Israel is, yes, and I can say this not officially as a spokesperson, but this is what I understand. Israel definitely is trying to bring about regime change in Iran. Why? Because it would be better for the entire region, for the Iranian people, and definitely for Israel.
But
It
many
Israel has been a blight to humanity from its very inception back in 1948. They descended upon the Palestinians, took their land, and took their homes and drove them out into the corners of Gaza, areas in Gaza, and built put them in basically like an open air prison. Okay, if you guys look up Moshe Dayan, he keeps it very real about what they did to these people back. This is one of the forefathers of Israel, and he keeps it very real about what he did to these people. That's number one. Number two, the whole Middle East has been in absolute turmoil since this area has descended upon the people of that region. That infrastructure should not exist. Unfortunately, that infrastructure has a nuke. So they are the ones who pull out the nuke and tell people, if you don't come help us, look up Golda Meir, 1973 Yom Kippur War, and they tell people, if you don't help us, then we're going to have to use this thing. Okay. We've done so many regime changes. That's why the Middle East is all over the place. And Israel has the backing of America. And that's why they've been able to get away with so many things. And American blood has been shed in order for this place to exist. Israel is nothing but a parasitical satanic area. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get stricken for this, but I can't help it. When I listen to this guy talk, it just makes me want to boot these people out even more. And I'm being kind compared to what they did to the Palestinians, and what they actually their fifth column of Jews do to America. So you know, it's just a lot to act like this stuff isn't real. But you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I just pray for the region. I'm not saying everybody out there is like that. I'm not saying all, not all, not all, not all, but at the same time, enough. If I had my way, I would put all of them in jail who are part of this government, and would go in there and rebuild the region, get the rest of them out, give it back to the Palestinians the way it should be, and then have real peace in the Middle East. I'll talk to you guys in another one.